Hey, it's Eran here doing a podcast. So I'm doing this live on YouTube and also recording it for Anchor, and that will be published on podcast shortly. So today's question is from my good friend Yamil, who is in the military in the US and great guy. He's from Florida in the US. And he asked the question, what systems/software do you use to track your clients? Now, I'll give you the full message so you can see. I've obviously worded it as a question. But his message is, I would be interested in learning what system software you use to track your clients. I know emails can be automated based on where they are on your funnel, value ladder. However, how do you manage specific needs for individual clients? In other words, how do you keep track of every client? And as your business expands, what are your plans to manage personalized training, coaching, etc.? So this is a great question. And there is, of course, you will get an answer to this, which is going to be different from pretty much every person, because every person has a different state of their business, where they're at, what they do they have staff, do they manage this, what's their niche. And if you just type CRM, customer relationship management system, into Google, you're going to find so many options. It's going to be overwhelming, right? So over the last couple of years, I've used a number of them in different capacities, different levels, in the 9-to-5 job that I had, plus previous company I was coaching in, and so on. So I use SalesForce, HubSpot, GetResponse, Zoho, Monday.com, AWeber, Trello. AWeber and GetResponse are much more email marketing softwares. They're not so much for CRM, but they can be used that way. I'll tell you what I use, okay? I'm not a huge fan of any of those. The one that I actually use is Airtable, okay? This is not a very known one, I don't think, but it's pretty much like Excel spreadsheet on steroids, okay? Now, just in terms of where I'm at in my business, you gotta understand also, I'm very much in the solopreneur state, transitioning to an entrepreneur, okay? I don't do paid ads, or I do very, very little paid ads. I get traffic from organic means, as in free traffic and so on, through my social media. I'm very lean in terms of my expenses and very much bootstrap mentality. If you want to read a book about that concept, you want to read a book called Power of Broke by Damon John, okay? And also the book How to Win in the Sports of Business by Mark Cuban. And it's very much, when you're starting as an entrepreneur, you want to be on bootstrap mentality. And it's actually a really good mentality to have, okay? And I believe if I had that mentality throughout the entire time, when I first started, because when I got started, I made 6 figures in 8 months. I made my first 6 figures really quickly, relatively, right? From total newbie to 6 figures in 8 months. But if I had that bootstrap mentality, I would have had a much easier time along the way, right? So, and that's what I recommend for anyone to really, when they're getting started. So Airtable, what I do is I've got a structure where you have different, I guess, they call it, what do they call it? It's not pods, but it's like, it's a platform basically. So you have the whole overall Airtable platform, and then you have a section. And in the section, you can have different programs, different Excel spreadsheets basically. But it's not just an Excel spreadsheet. You have different unique links, different unique columns, and so on. So you can have everything there set up where you can have questionnaires, you can have the right dates, you can have menus. It's actually quite sophisticated, but also simple at the same time. It's intuitive enough that you don't need tutorials, you don't need to watch anything along these lines. It's just intuitive to actually use, that's what I like about it, right? So I use Airtable, and what it does is when I work with a client, I have the discussion, I do my homework, and then when we have a discussion, I write a step-by-step plan process on what they need to do. Then once I have it written, I can also have on each column, I can have like a check mark when they tick when it's done, the date when it's done, and also once that's actually finished, they also have the ability to, like, if I want to include a URL as part of it, if I want them to leave notes, if I want them to give me an attachment relating to that, all of that is possible within Airtable. It is extremely handy to have that. And then all I do is I share that one tab, that one Excel with this client. So I can have like it's unlimited amount of clients I can have set up with that platform. And I've got a specific link for every one of them. So I've got everything in the one hub, and it's just great to use, basically. So that's what I use. I use Airtable. Traditionally, for my own business, like when I was on a 9-to-5 job, I actually have it. I actually still have it, and I still use it. I have all my personal programs, all my monthly expenses, all my income goals, all of my stuff, my own statistics that I measure on a monthly basis on Numbers. Numbers is basically the Mac version of an Excel spreadsheet, right? So for me, the whole Excel, it was very intuitive, that whole structure of Airtable. And actually, the name of the document for my numbers grid is called 9-to-5 Escape Plan. So when I got the 9-to-5 job, that was like a pilot or a test run to see how long it will take me to get out of the 9-to-5 job and replace my income, having rebuilt my internet business from scratch. So it took me 8 months, and I had the entire plan of how to do it on the numbers. So I had a tab for my blogging that I was going to execute, for my coaching clients and what I was going to do, and so on. And I literally had it all programmed out on how to execute my whole plan, because I was putting together a whole course as well. So I had it listed. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that I can share that. Like I could do a freaking course on how to do that, how to basically bail out of your 9-to-5 and quit your job. I could do a whole course just on that, right? So that's really what my coaching is all about. But anyway, that's what I use. I use Airtable. It is free to use. It is actually quite phenomenal. There is a paid plan with them as well, which is actually, they have the most complicated payment plan I've ever seen. It is so weird and complicated. I don't even understand how they make money. All I know is their free plan is superb. Okay, so I'm a free plan user, and I basically affiliate free users all the time, because every person that I bring in, I actually basically get a $10 credit on their paid plan. But their paid plan is so complicated, I haven't even needed to use it yet. So that's what I use. I really recommend you use Airtable. What I will probably do is I will actually leave a link below on a demo of Airtable. So if you want to check it out and test it out, you can actually see exactly what I've got it and how I've got it. So it's pretty user-friendly. It's great to use. If you're in the solopreneur state, you're managing clients, you're managing projects, Airtable is freaking awesome, okay? So that's my feedback, and thanks a lot for tuning in. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please hit that like button, leave a comment with what software do you use, okay? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that, and leave a comment with any questions you have for me. If you listen to this on my podcast, appreciate your tuning in. I don't know if there's a like or a wave button or something, but whatever there is for whatever engagement, we'll appreciate it, a share, whatever. But thanks a lot for tuning in. This is, again, Eran Bucai from eranbucai.com. Got any questions for me? I'll be answering questions as much as I can on this podcast, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.